Hello, and welcome to the first ever live stream of the TCIA Annual Business Meeting. I am Mundy Wilson Piper, and has been my honor to serve as the chair of the TCIA Board of Directors this year. I am truly thrilled to be before you today. While we typically hold this meeting at the beginning of the Winter Management Conference, we could not gather in Barbados for that purpose this year. Instead, we are using this as an opportunity to share with everyone where we have been, where we are, and where we are going as an organization. While this past year has been fraught with tragedy, upheaval, and unrest, it has also seen remarkable growth in the tree care industry and at TCIA. I am incredibly proud to have served with my peers, my friends, on the board of directors of this fine organization. While today marks the end of my term as board chair, I will continue on in the unofficial advisory role of immediate past chair, and I very much look forward to seeing the board's continued leadership of TCIA. Our board is a group of committed team players who have strategic open minds as stewards of our industry, and I have 100% confidence that they will continue to keep calm and carry on in service to our staff for the common good of our members. I now call to order the 2021 Annual Business Meeting of the Tree Care Industry Association. TCIA is an organization with a rich history of outstanding leadership, and I would like to take a moment to thank all of the past presidents and past chairs of the board of directors. It is not an exaggeration to say that those of us on the current board stand on the shoulders of giants. On behalf of the grateful members of TCIA, I thank you for your past commitment to and current support for our industry. Some of you may be wondering why we are having this meeting at all this year. To put it simply, we are here because we have to be. TCIA's bylaws establish the contract that the organization has with you, our members. Part of that obligation is for the leaders of this association to stand before you each year to provide a report on the state of the association. We also use this event to recognize some of our most prestigious award recipients and to pass the gavel to the next TCIA Board of Directors. Whether you have joined us live or are watching this as a recording, thank you for all being here and taking an interest in your association. As I said, this past year has certainly presented its challenges, and TCIA is no exception. When we realized in June 2020 that we could not realistically hold TCI Expo this past fall, we also knew the profound and immediate financial impact of that decision. I am incredibly pleased with the work that the staff, finance committee, and board did to develop a budget that was fiscally prudent while also allowing TCIA to continue with its mission of advancing tree care businesses. Of course, while the board governs, the staff manages. I'd now like to introduce our President and CEO, David White, to give his report on the state of TCIA.
Thank you, Mundy. It is almost impossible to imagine that about 1 year ago, I was addressing you, our members, from a stage in beautiful Puerto Vallarta. TCIA had just started its 2019 fiscal year with one of the most successful TCI expos to date, bringing more than 4,000 tree care professionals to Pittsburgh. We had shared our vision for TCIA with our core purpose of advancing tree care businesses and a long-term goal of being an essential resource for successful tree care companies. We had also begun our 3-year plan focused on engaging members, meeting member needs, and continuing to raise industry standards. To achieve those goals, we had begun aligning our staff and other resources with our plans, bringing on 4 full-time member engagement coordinators, developing a member experience team, and creating a corporate member team. When we met in Puerto Vallarta that February, everything seemed possible. And then the world changed. By the middle of March, it had become clear that COVID-19 pandemic was going to impact TCIA's operations. Cases were spiking in nearby Massachusetts, and we made the difficult decision to limit access to our physical office, sending most of the staff to work from home. At the same time, many states were implementing shutdown orders, limiting operations to only essential businesses. We quickly partnered with our friends at the International Society of Arboriculture to develop a policy statement supporting that tree care is, in fact, essential. Our newly formed industry expertise team also worked seamlessly with our policy team in Washington to keep our members informed as efforts to contain the virus and stimulate the economy were rolled out. It is exactly this ability to work remotely while quickly and effectively pivoting to meet member needs that allows me to stand before you today and say unequivocally that the state of our association is strong. The strength of our association lies not in what we have accomplished over the last year, but in the people who make up our membership, who make up our volunteer leaders, and who make up our staff. To paraphrase something Simon Sinek said in a recent interview, the companies that will survive and even thrive in this pandemic are those who focus on their customers and not on their bottom line. Rather than turning to layoffs and furloughs, the board of directors and I challenged the staff to find new and inventive ways to engage with and support our members. That also meant that we as a staff had to support one another in ways we had never imagined, lending our time and skills to other teams, doing work with which we were not necessarily familiar. We stayed committed to our vision of advancing tree care businesses and our core values of being of service to our members, being team players, being driven, being respectful, and being principled. It has been a year since the pandemic changed how we operate, and I'm proud to say that I am part of such an amazing and dedicated team. While there is no doubt that our people are the main strength of TCIA, we are also fortunate to be in a strong financial position as well. In May and June, we began looking forward to our plans for TCI Expo that was supposed to be held in Baltimore in late October. The board and staff pored over information from the Centers for Disease Control, the state of Maryland, and the city of Baltimore, and consulted with the staff at the Baltimore Convention Center. We also strongly considered TCIA's role in promoting safety throughout the tree care industry. In the face of an ever-increasing number of cases and considerable uncertainty in our ability to safely bring together over 5,000 people in a single place, the board made the difficult decision to not hold TCI Expo in 2020. While this decision was absolutely the right one to make, it carried with it a significant price, both in terms of our short-term cash flow and our ability to effectively budget for fiscal year 2021. Once again, the board and staff at TCIA were up to the challenge. To be certain, saying that not holding TCI Expo created a challenge for the association is a considerable understatement. Our trade show accounts for 30% of all annual revenue for the association, meaning that we were now facing a budget deficit of over $2 million for fiscal year 2021. Furthermore, TCIA was also obligated to return a considerable amount of the down payments we had received from our exhibitors, severely straining our operating cash. Fortunately, TCIA as an organization had two things going for it. First, as I already mentioned, we work with amazing people. Our corporate engagement staff was able to reach out to our corporate members and, in most circumstances, were able to reach agreements allowing TCIA to spread refund payments out over several months. This amazing support from our exhibitors gave us a lot more flexibility in terms of cash management, for which we are incredibly grateful. Second, we were able to work with our finance committee to develop a budget for fiscal year 2021 that maintained our ability to serve our members while only generating a deficit of just under $1 million. While that certainly sounds like a sizable deficit, TCIA at the time had just over $300,000 in short-term reserves and over $6 million in long-term investments. I am pleased to inform you that we finished December with a year-to-date deficit of just $225,000, $146,000 ahead of our budgeted projections. I'm also happy to report that TCIA received a payroll protection program loan from the Small Business Administration of $533,000 that will be totally forgiven if used for allowable expenses, which is exactly what it will be used for. We continue to closely monitor expenses while seeking new revenue opportunities, but it does appear that we may be able to weather this storm without significantly depleting or even touching our long-term reserves. With an amazing board, committed staff, and strong financial position, TCIA has accomplished many things over the last year. Please note that you can download a detailed annual report from this website, and it will also be printed in an upcoming edition of Reporter. As I mentioned before, we created both a member engagement and a member experience team, resulting in over 16,000 direct member contacts and less than 5% of incoming calls going to voicemail, effectively ending the TCIA shuffle. Our corporate engagement team created new opportunities for advertising and content placement, thereby increasing the level of engagement for our manufacturers, distributors, and service providers. Our marketing team launched a successful podcast and has continued to develop and enhance our online presence. Our products and services team quickly developed a virtual CTSP workshop, offered new business webinars, and is about to launch our first online course for EHAP, all while planning the wildly successful TCI Virtual Summit. Our industry expertise team helped keep members informed about the pandemic, took advantage of opportunities to involve members in advocating on behalf of an OSHA industry standard, and redesigned TCI Magazine. TCIA's administration and operations team has continued to not only keep us all operating remotely, but has also become an integral partner in data mining and the continued enhancement of online services. Finally, our finance and accounting team has worked several small miracles, managing our day-to-day cash flow and keeping each of the other teams informed to better manage revenue and expenses. These are just a few of the many accomplishments you can read about in our annual report that is available on this website and in the upcoming Reporter. In conclusion, I would be remiss if I did not take a moment to highlight the amazing work of this year's board chair, Mundy Wilson Piper. Being chair of the TCIA Board of Directors is a significant commitment in the best of times, which is not how I would describe the last 12 months. Mundy took it all in stride, digging into the work that needed to be done while foregoing the traditional pomp and circumstance associated with presiding over events like TCI Expo and the Winter Management Conference. Throughout it all, she remained kind, supportive, and resolute in her commitment that we would come through any difficulty together. Mundy, thank you for all the things, large and small, that you have done over the past year for TCIA. I cannot think of a better person to have led us through these trying times. With that, I thank you for your time and attention this afternoon. I hope that each of you will continue to be well, continue to be safe, and continue to be TCIA members. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. There's a quote that adversity does not build character, it reveals it. And I want all of our members to know that after working very closely with Dave White this year, having a weekly phone call that sometimes lasted for hours, even though it was only scheduled for an hour, we have the best possible leader of our association. Caring, conscientious, committed, he has exhibited true servant and selfless leadership under the most trying of circumstances, always determined to find the best solutions while putting the needs of others above his own. When things go right, he always gives credit to his team. When things don't go well, he takes personal accountability for whatever happened. It's been an honor to serve with him, and we are so incredibly fortunate to have Dave as our president. Your association management is in truly excellent hands. One of the other truly extraordinary things about 2020 was the addition of Zoom fatigue. We added the term Zoom fatigue to our global lexicon. So now we're going to take a 5-minute commercial break, and you can stretch or go get a cup of coffee or enjoy the commercial. Thank you.
In the beginning, the Tree Care Industry Association was nothing more than an idea.
In fact, it wasn't even called TCIA.
The idea of training and educating tree care workers began to gain traction.
Our outspoken members had the desire to advance safety,
And that paved the way for what TCIA is today.
Under the leadership of our founders and those who have succeeded them,
We have seen the vision of a safer, more professional industry take shape.
Over the years, TCIA has helped form the profession through efforts and events.
Such as TCI Magazine and TCI Expo, the largest of their kind.
But none of this would have been possible without the support of our members over the many years.
from the beginning, our members have always been quick to give back and support both the growth of the industry and their fellow members.
As advocates, voices, leaders, and representatives, they have made the profession of arboriculture what it is today.
Although TCIA was started by a small group of passionate arborists,
It is now a global organization with a commitment to advance tree care businesses.
but none of this would have been possible without you.
We are TCIA because of you.
We are TCIA.
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 We are TCIA because of you.
The value of the CTSP program is it's the first venture into sort of formalized safety within the industry. So it takes a core set of safety knowledge and then it gives you the ability to coach and train others.
CTSP encourages businesses to take a perspective that's looking at people, looking at safety, and looking at learning.
The program is really bulletproof. It's buttoned up tight, and it really creates results and a want to complete it.
CTSP has helped me out tremendously. Now I'm more cautious as to what I do and to what's around me. I think it will help me teach the client as well, so they could understand more why it is that everything's done the way it is.
Now people are realizing that safety is the way to productivity.
Your greatest commodity is your workforce. Invest in them and train them. Develop them. Create the new leaders.
I use it on a daily basis. And my goal is to have every single foreman be certified.
Engaging in some things like CTSP are really key fundamental building blocks for any tree care business.
Long days, hard work. Innovation, technology, professionalism. The research and the know-how. Going above and beyond. Often unseen, but there when you need them. And in the end, a picture worth 1,000 words. Sustaining and preserving life. For nearly 100 years, we've been there, alongside those making our planet brighter, greener, safer, cleaner. Educating, informing, training, elevating, and inspiring. And above all, making it safer than the day before. Because at the end of it all, it's the people who make the difference. We'll be doing it all again tomorrow. TCIA, advancing tree care businesses.
Welcome back. As I mentioned before, the staff manages and it falls to the board to establish a vision for the organization and to ensure that TCIA has the resources it needs to meet our goals and maintain operations well into the future. If we're being honest, in most years, that's a pretty straightforward set of tasks. As you can imagine, this year it was anything but easy. The board of directors held twice as many meetings over the last 12 months as it has in any other year in recent memory. Every meeting included lively discussions of truly pressing issues for our industry and association. I would like to take a moment to recognize and thank the members of the 2020 TCIA Board of Directors. Tim Gamma, Vice Chair, David Fleischner, Senior Director, and our at-large directors, Noel Boyer, August Hoppy, Jim Houston, Tad Jacobs, Josh Morin, Tom Prosser, Jason Showers, and David White ex officio. While the board of directors are involved with guiding the overall organization, there are many people who generously give their time and energy to TCIA, helping to advance the tree care industry. They do the heavy lifting on our councils and committees, tackling accreditation, CTSP, awards, ANSI, standards, ethics, and even some non-TCIA committees. We're also fortunate to have volunteers leading the Voice for Trees Political Action Committee and the TCIA Foundation. This year, we also had a governance task force that reviewed our process for electing members of the board. We are fortunate to have so many willing volunteers and equally so many employers willing to allow their employees to spend their time with us. On behalf of the entire organization, thank you for all of the TCIA volunteers. I want to especially thank Alan Jones for his contributions this past year. We created a guest position on the board for the immediate past chair and invited him to attend our meetings and participate in our discussions. Alan, thank you for taking on this additional challenge, and we appreciate everything you have given to TCIA and your fellow board members. We know that you will continue to be a major influence in this industry for many years to come. Because everything has to be different this year, we're also going to be recognizing award recipients a bit differently. I will be announcing the winners of some of our awards today, and we will be finding ways to introduce and recognize all of our award recipients throughout the coming year. So congratulations to all our awardees, and I know we all look forward to hearing from you soon. Each year, the TCIA chair, that's me, has the privilege of recognizing a member of our industry who gives considerable time and energy to tree care. We're now going to play a video that tells you a little bit more. No, we're not playing a video that tells you any more. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this year's recipient. It is an understatement to say that if for this individual, that if it were not for him, I would not be actually sitting here today as your chair or honoring him with this award. And for that, I am forever grateful. This individual has the gift of being a connecting force, intuiting people's talents and seeing where their skills and capacity can be leveraged to benefit an organization. Luckily, in this case, our Tree Care Industry Association. After my late husband and the founder of our company passed away, he offered me unrelenting support, encouragement, guidance, and eventually influenced me to apply for the board. I understand that there are many others in our organization who he's also had great influence with. A past TCI chair himself, he is also the founder of an informal group of industry peers and welcomed me to join the Tree Brothers as a true tree sister. It has been unbelievable to share so many great memories with him and witness his commitment to this industry. Please join me in congratulating Kevin Caldwell as this year's Chair's Award recipient. I'd now like to turn to the Pat Felix Volunteer of the Year Award. Each year, the Pat Felix Volunteer of the Year Award is presented to a TCI member or members who have gone above and beyond the call of duty, committing a great deal of time and effort to the success of TCIA and the advancement of commercial arboriculture. This year, we would like to recognize the outstanding contributions of Tim Bushnell. Tim has served as chair of the A300 for the last 3 years, helping to promote professionalism in the tree care industry through the continued development and use of proper pruning standards. In fact, during his tenure, the A300 committee met its goal of being on track with its schedule for producing and reviewing all of the standards. On behalf of everyone at TCIA, thank you, Tim Bushnell, for your stewardship of the A300 committee. The Award of Merit is the highest honor TCIA can bestow upon one of its members. Nominations are solicited from the membership, and a final honoree is selected by the awards committee. The committee is comprised of the 3 most recent past chairs of the board of directors. The committee's recommendations are then reviewed by the board. As you can see, there is a fairly rigorous process for selecting the recipient of this distinguished award. Given the nature of this honor, I encourage all of you to check out awards.tcia.org and see the amazing list of past recipients of the Award of Merit. I know that you will agree it would be difficult, if not impossible, to find a group of people more dedicated to the tree care industry than those who have been recognized with this prestigious award. This year, we are recognizing an individual who is often described as the consummate arborist. He has a long history with both with TCIA and the Long Island Arborist Association, lending his expertise to multiple generations of arborists. In fact, he helped TCIA, then NAA, to develop its first home study course. And so deep is his passion for our industry that when TCIA celebrated its 75th anniversary, he supplied many of the items on display in our history aisle from his personal collection. As past chair of the TCIA board, Andy Felix put it, now in the twilight of his career, he has left a mark on many and did so with a great sense of humor and storytelling. He deserves this recognition. Please join me in congratulating the 2021 TCIA Award of Merit recipient, John Hickey. It is now my duty to install the 2021-2022 TCIA Board of Directors. Recently elected to 3-year terms as director. Amy Burkett, Burkett Arbor Care, LLC, Burn, Texas. Josh Morin, We Love Trees, Niwot, Colorado. Continuing their current terms as directors, Noel Boyer, All About Trees, Springfield, Missouri. August Hoppy, Hoppy Tree Service, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Jim Houston, the Davy Tree Expert Company, Kent, Ohio. Tad Jacobs, Tree Masters, San Rafael, California. Jason Showers, Moorbark, LLC, Wynn, Michigan. Serving as Senior Director, Tom Prosser, Rainbow Tree Care, Minnetonka, Minnesota. Serving as Vice Chair, David Fleischner, Asplin Tree Experts, Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. And serving as Chair, Tim Gamma, Gamma Tree, St. Louis, Missouri. The role of the Board of Directors includes upholding the mission of the Tree Care Industry Association to advance tree care businesses, leading the association by setting the strategic direction and policies to guide the membership and industry, and fulfilling your fiduciary responsibilities to our members. Do you promise to carry out these responsibilities to the best of your ability? If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
I do.
I declare the 2021-2022 Board of Directors duly installed. Thank you. Tim, please remain on the screen and the rest of the board may now depart. Tim, it is an amazing honor to present you with this official TCIA gavel. It was commissioned by August Hoppy and will now be handed from one board chair to the next. I cannot think of a better person to give this to, and I wish you all the best in your term as chair. Congratulations.
Monday, I thank you so much for that introduction. And I would like to thank all the members of the Tree Care Industry Association and its board of directors and our amazing staff. I can't tell you what a great honor it is to have been elected as chair of TCIA, and I thank you all very much. As a second-generation arborist and tree care company owner, I quite literally grew up in TCIA and ISA. In fact, my journey in TCI began in the womb. Now the fourth chair of TCIA from St. Louis. Following past chairs Vance Shield in 1940, F.L. Dinsmore in 1962, and Ken Kirk in 1978. Like those early industry leaders, my father, Frank Gamma, always understood the value of TCIA membership. He always said it pays to be a member of NAA, which is now TCIA. Having grown up in the tree care industry, my family's summer vacation was the ISA conference. And we always knew as kids that my parents were going to winter management someplace in Florida, usually in February over the winter. As a family business that has been in operation since 1954, we can honestly say that our membership in TCIA and ISA are directly responsible for our continued growth. I know that the success of Gamma Tree Experts is due in no small part to what we have learned through TCIA. 67 years ago, my father started our company with a pickup truck and a handsaw. Today, with my brother Tom, we run 14 crews with over 60 employees. We could not have grown our business without the programs offered through TCIA, especially accreditation, CTSP, fleet maintenance and inspections, business and government advice. All of these programs and the attendance of numerous TCIA-sponsored seminars, articles in the Reporter and TCIA magazine, and attendance at the winter management conferences have had a profound positive impact on our business and bottom line. TCIA raised the bar of professionalism and continues to roll out programs to benefit tree care companies. I believe the best way to improve your business is to network with other members at Expo or Winter Management Conference or other industry organizations. By learning from each other, we are able to elevate the professionalism of the industry and continue to advance tree care businesses. Of course, none of us get anywhere without quite a bit of help. I want to recognize the following people who influenced my career most and who have had unselfishly given and continue to lend their wisdom to the industry. These people include Ken Kirk, Jim Rocca, Dan Christie, Bob Felix, Highland Johns, John Hendrickson, Al West, Jim Skira, Sharon Lilly, Kim Coder, Dwayne Newstatter, Lauren Lamphere, Robert Bartlett, Jim Ingram, Tom Smiley, Greg Daniels, Tom Tolkatz, Randy Owen, Terrell Collier, Peter Gerstenberger, Tony Gann, Peter Sortwell, Alan Jones, and Mundy Wilson Piper. I have had the honor to serve with them on past TCIA or ISA boards and have learned so much from them over the years. I owe you all, and many others, a debt of gratitude. Family is very important to me, and I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to thank my parents, Genevieve and Frank Amma, to be working with my brother Tom at the company our father founded. Of course, I could not do any of this without my wife Donna and my amazing 3 boys that we are so lucky to have. I love you all very much. I am also proud of my adopted family, the dedicated and talented and diverse board of industry leaders with whom I have had. First among those is Mundy Wilson Piper. Mundy, it's been a joy and a pleasure to work with you on the board. Your calm, intelligent, and dedicated service is what we needed to navigate through this pandemic. We are also blessed with a professional staff led by our President and CEO, David White. While COVID-19 has been very difficult and even catastrophic for many industries, forward planning past TCIA boards laid the foundation reserve to help weather any economic downturn. Still, the coronavirus had a negative impact on our normal events, causing us not to hold the Expo or WMC this year. However, our strong financial reserve allowed TCIA to stay focused on the most important aspects of what we do, serving the membership. Perhaps the finest example of this focus was when the board approved and the staff executed the first ever virtual summit. Reaching over 1,200 attendees, the virtual summit provided quality educational sessions and connections to equipment and service vendors to help tree care companies continue to grow during these turbulent times. I couldn't be more proud of our staff staying the course and keeping the organization rolling during these challenging times. Going forward, I'm confident that we will dig out from underneath the cloud team and that we will return to more normal times in 2021. It's really been remarkable to hear how many companies thrived in this past year in 2020 with the virus, that pretty much the whole green industry prevailed and did pretty well during the course of the year, even with the pandemic. This year I'd like to focus on our member engagement, our connections with our current members, while also reaching out to non-members, continuing to deliver on our promise to advance all tree care businesses. In addition, we must reach the ever-growing minority and women-owned companies and a diverse employee population, expanding our services to train and assist all tree care businesses, management, and best practices. I am very much an optimist, and I am confident 2021 will bring even more success to the tree care industry. We have come a long way thanks to the collective efforts of our predecessors and current TCIA leaders. Together, we will continue to transform the industry by increasing the number of accredited companies, improving safety, educating consumers, legislation and regulation, being the voice of the tree industry, expanding our membership, and continuing partnerships with our industry suppliers. I look forward to serving as chair as we start this exciting chapter of TCIA. In closing, it's my sincere hope that we can all be together in person at Expo in Indianapolis and at WMC in Hawaii. In spite of a pandemic, we still have so much to celebrate and to share. I want to thank my wife, Donna, and my Anthony, Mitch, and Grant for their patience and support during my tenure on the board. In 2009, I was elected as president of ISA, and it was the pinnacle of my professional career as an arborist. Today, I reached the pinnacle of my business career by becoming your chair of the TCIA Board of Directors. I can't thank you enough for this great honor, and I assure you I will faithfully serve you all. Thank you so much. I'd like to hand it back over to Monday.
Thank you, Tim. I wanted to share with you one of the gifts that TCIA has given to me. If you can see, it has an inscription with my name, and it's one of my favorite Vermont glass blowers, Simon Pierce. It's just a beautiful, beautiful full remembrance, and also my ceremonial gavel that I get to keep, and this wonderful memory book that Kathleen Costello apparently had a lot to do with putting together, and it now has wrinkled pages because I was crying as I was reading through it and looking at all the memories of the past 6 years for me. So thank you so much for those gifts. I really appreciate them and will treasure them. Thank you for being such a great audience this afternoon. Like for so many others, that has certainly not been the year I expected as chair. And yet, as an association, we have persisted and prevailed during these challenging times. I feel even more confident that the association is better and stronger than ever, especially with the team of people that are in place to take us into a very bright future. It has been an honor to serve virtually, but really, I can't wait to see you all again in person. Our 2021 annual meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.